Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of the news. The demo news, I guess. I decided to put out a quick video just to sort of reflect on what happened yesterday here in Bournemouth, the fact that we had a nice march that was well visited and all that sort of stuff, and so I just wanted to sort of reflect on that a little bit because I think one or two interesting things happened yesterday that I noticed anyway. Yeah, so apologies by the way for not putting up a main video in terms of footage from the march. Not for the first time. The footage that I did film did disappear from my phone. I can't find it anywhere, and my settings are such that anything I do is backed up immediately. But for some reason this particular video isn't. I can't find it anywhere, so I've only managed to put up one or two smaller ones, one under a minute long and the other one about 5 or 6 minutes long, but the main one, it was about 35-40 minutes long, that captured the sort of event. Unfortunately not. There we go. But yesterday was good. There were, I think it was probably our best visited yet here in Bournemouth. And of course it was boosted by the appearance of Piers Corbyn, who I personally met down in London on the 24th, and of course you know, luckily for us in our group, we had one or two people who were in touch with him and all that sort of stuff, and they managed to arrange for him to come down, so that was well done for those who were responsible for getting him down here. Good work. And we've got a few more of those little surprises to come up in future demos, so watch this space, as it were. But yeah, it was good that he came down, because there were some onlookers that I noticed that I'd never seen before. So it just goes to show you what a name of prominence does. It just ups the brand, as it were, of what you're trying to talk about that bit more, raises awareness a bit more. But that was good. So he was there, and we took a slightly different route yesterday as well, because lo and behold, there was also a demonstration happening at the same time, calling for a free Palestine. Cynics may say that it was encouraged to go ahead at the same time as our demo, so as to dilute our message, and I would tend to go along with that. We did make attempts to engage with them. I know somebody, a friend of mine in our group, who was in communication with them per email, and also a few people who went and tried to engage with them yesterday to maybe join up with us and do a sort of a unified kind of effort in Bournemouth. They didn't really want to know, so but we had to kind of maneuver our way around them a little bit, so that's exactly what we did. But it was good though, all told. It was nice. We never have any trouble with anybody, we never do. And you know, we had a few cars that drove past us with their Palestinian flags, and they were offering us some support and kind of egging us on a little, egging us on a little bit, and we did the same likewise. There was a moment there yesterday where we converged onto Bournemouth Square, and the Free Palestine demonstration was at the other end of the square. It's not a big square, and we kind of supported them with rounds of applause and stuff like that, and they acknowledged that, so that was good. And then we went on our business of walking around Bournemouth, as we always do. Weather, of course, not even want to bother mention it. Yeah, classic English, I suppose. But it didn't dampen our spirits, and it was lovely to see, of course, familiar faces as well as some new ones. I was also quite fortunate yesterday because, and this is the thing, this is the bit that I feel most upbeat about when it comes to things like demos and marches or whatever you want to call it, is the opportunity you get to further your network, you know, and further sort of your contact with fellow demonstrators, people, you know, sussing out who's on what level kind of thing. And not in terms of education. What I mean is, what are they in it for? Are they in it because they're just inconvenienced that the barbershop keeps closing down? Or are they seeing more? Are they aware of the bigger picture? Are they aware of agendas, that sort of stuff? And you only get to know that if you start interacting with people on a one-to-one level, retail level, as it were, not online with comments to and fro on people's memes. So that is basically the upside, most definitely, of these sorts of events for me personally, and also the opportunity where possible to engage with bystanders, because I've mentioned this in an early video as well, that we have an increasing amount of people who seem to be watching on as we serpentine our way through town. I did hear reports yesterday of people who were trying to engage with them. In fact, I just bumped into somebody now. I just had a coffee with a friend of mine, and we went into a cafe, and someone was working there who was at the demo yesterday, and they told us that on trying to engage with leaflets and stuff, they were told in no uncertain terms to jog on, as it were. So, you're going to have mixed responses, but fact of the matter is there are definitely people out there watching on, looking on, who are a bit more, it appears, a bit more receptive. So certainly we got something to build on there, I think, in terms of communicating and passing on the messages that are becoming more and more absurd every day. Not our messages, but our messages based on the news that we receive. In times of Indian variants and floating Yorkshire mutants, it's tricky. So yes, so I just wanted to really put out a brief one, and I just mentioned, I thoroughly enjoyed it yesterday. It was well worth it. I did actually have a conversation with one or two police officers yesterday as well, which was fine. Just a general chit chat. I did bump into one police officer who I know from where I normally work, who said hello and everything else. That was all right as well. It was absolutely no problem at all. And I do believe there was an incident yesterday where a couple of youths, 2 or 3 youths, tried to attack, might be the wrong word, but be a nuisance towards our main bulk of the crowd. And I remember a police officer saying to us, no, you lot weren't the problem. It was a couple of youths or whatever creating problems, and they sorted it out for us. So, we've always been on side with them in terms of behaviour, in terms of keeping them updated with whatever decisions we made. Yesterday was simply a bit tricky because what we agreed upon didn't quite transpire. So there was, for example, by the time we got round our bulk of the demo to Bournemouth Town Square to do our main speaking, the Free Palestine demonstration, for example, was supposed to have vacated that space for us by that time. That was arranged with people. That didn't transpire at all. So there are 1 or 2 things, should that ever happen again, that maybe we need to ensure that works out correctly next time. But I mean, there was no issues or anything like that. Yeah. And also, what else did I want to say? Yes, there's, for those who don't know, I'm arranging mini buses. Well, at the moment, just one. But if there is a demand for more, then more, to go down to London for this coming Saturday, the 29th, which is, I would regard, the follow-up event to the 24th, the one that didn't get mentioned by mainstream media. And so anybody who is interested in that, do get in touch with me. If there's a demand for more transport, then we'll make appropriate arrangements. So that is about it in terms of that. And I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, because it's a very spontaneous video. I wasn't really planning on doing this. I can't really think of much more in terms of news. I'm not going to repeat what mainstream are reporting on and this, that and the other, because I'll leave that for a proper news segment when I get around to doing one in the week, where I shall dissect some facts and figures, not just from this country, and I'll give some gentle reminders of what's going on out there. Not for those who know, but for those who might be watching this who aren't as heavily involved as we are in terms of uncovering some truths. So there we go. And also my mate, she's Mr. Camera, so bit of peer pressure there. He's happy now. Yeah, so that is about it for me. I just wanted to throw out a quick update, just reiterate that it was, I thought, a great success yesterday. Lovely march. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Good people there. Great conversations. If anything, just getting together with like-minded people and recharging, as it were, is invaluable. It's so vital for me. I don't know about you, but for me, it's so vital. And that's why those demos have to continue. You know, they really do, for that reason alone. You know, we have to get together, communicate, and you know, try and build those communities. And when I say communities, I don't mean let's all live in one house. But anyway, they're conversations for another day. Although, you know, those ideas are worth working on right now, actually, because I'm expecting things to flip to our detriment very soon. But without me wanting to end this on a negative note, I'd like to thank everybody for supporting my channel. I'm trying to get as many subscribers together as possible, first of all, so I can get to a certain level, so I can then save all my videos and they don't get scrubbed. For that, I need a certain amount of subscribers. I'm heading that way slowly but surely. And also eventually, hopefully, I can do some lives through YouTube as well. A bit of work to do before I get to that level, but yeah, that is my aim. So I need to get stuck into that a little bit more seriously soon. But it's just been very busy recently. A lot going on for all of us. Let's have it right, you know. Anyway, thank you again, and I will see you all soon. Some of you sooner. It's goodbye from him and goodbye from me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll speak very soon. Take care. Bye bye.